portion of Newarkers pay 50% of their salary on rent or mortgage, period, which means they're not bringing enough money. 50% of the children in this town live in poverty. So all the things that were mentioned in terms of battered women, people with AIDS, mental health, the councilman pointed out earlier that the city of Newark and the county provides all kinds of services centered around those populations and specialized housing. Those things don't exist at higher levels because the city has not got the money that we're supposed to get from the resources that we have. The port and all those things that we talked about, that's what the money has to be used for, the kind of social services for this community. Plus, in terms of the housing, you talk about Mount Laurel, but we need to talk about the city of Newark. So there hasn't been one for one, which means that every house that has been blown up, every apartment that has been demolished, that has not been replaced with another house. So a lot of those folks are moving into neighborhoods, are moving into communities, and in growing crime, making it more dense, and it's creating issues. So the housing authority in the city has not created, though we created a lot of low-income housing, we have not created enough one-for-one housing. And so we have to expand the kind of housing that we create for people, not just affordable housing, because you hear the word affordable housing, but kind of low-income housing, and begin to give people the training and the skills to put them back on their feet and get the jobs that they need in this community. So the Workforce Investment Board, Newark Works, all these organizations that we have that are centered around training have to train people for growing markets and put them to work. When you put them to work, they have to earn a living wage so they can be able to afford housing that we're creating. We're creating housing because we're forcing developers not to just create housing downtown, but to create housing in our neighborhoods. And we have something called the rental car tax money that we do now. The city collects millions of dollars in rental car tax fees, and we use most of it to develop downtown business. And I forced them to use half of the money to be able to create stuff in the neighborhoods where we live at. They want to use it now for re-entry to get people to work on urban farms. I halted that and said, I would rather you build housing and put people to work who are coming home from jail as opposed to making them work on a farm. So the idea is to give people skills, put them in these trades, get them to build their own communities up, earn a living wage, and begin to be able to afford a house in their own neighborhood or afford an apartment that's going up in their own neighborhood. And I would disagree that people are leaving Newark. In fact, Newark's population is increasing. That's what the demographics say. Nobody's leaving, they're coming. If you look at the businesses, that's not me, that's the demographics. If you look at the businesses that are coming downtown, they're flooding into this city. You look at what's happening in this town, while our eyes are closed, other people's eyes are opening. They're trying to find space to move into your city. So don't let nobody beat you over the head to make you think that everybody's running out of Newark. People running into our city. And the last thing, because it's being said over and over again, I didn't raise my salary, and none of these people did. And just because you say a thing over and over and over again does not make it the truth.